Welcome to Lore Hero episode 45. It's going to be a shorter one this week. We kind of had a cursed schedule mishap, or two, maybe even three perhaps that happened. So we're actually recording this
three.
on 25 hours and 41 minutes before the show is meant to go live. Is when we're starting. So my day today is going to be spent editing and making sure it goes up on time. Which is
make sure not. I don't want to bring up too many pictures or things for you to add in and have to.
It's okay. It's okay. We can do that.
All right. Bet.
This isn't my fault. I didn't accidentally miss the recording Sunday night. No, I would never.
Hey, it's not my fault when we agreed on noon o'clock, and then I set my alarms for noon, thinking nothing of it. Oh wait, you guys are all Eastern time zone and shit. I'm Central. I definitely didn't have you guys sitting here waiting for me for an hour.
I should have said noon. I should have said noon EST.
Yeah, you
but
called
then
that
noon
shit.
we have 3 to 1 EST. So I mean, it happens. It'll happen.
No, you can just continue saying noon. It's my bad. I have to internally change everything to an hour earlier than what you say.
But you know what? It's okay. Hey, it's all right. We have an advantage to doing it this week, right? Like, we can actually talk about the new jam tracks that just got announced for the first time. We can finally do that.
Jason, listen. I thought you were gonna say in the end it doesn't even matter because we get to talk about all.
That'd be a very
tracks.
Jason thing to say.
I was waiting for it. I was like, he didn't go in with that. It's okay.
I mean, I tried so hard, and I
got
so far.
There we go. Yeah.
There you go. That's why we like this guy.
One thing. Wait, was that too much? Getting another? All right, fair enough. There actually is something. There is something to mention.
Ooh.
So when this episode drops, the announcement will already be out. But Linkin Park does have a major announcement this week. They've been rumored to be potentially announcing a new vocalist for the band.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane.
That is pretty nuts. That's some big shoes to fill. And there was one rumor that just got dispelled, which was the singer for Sum 41 was being floated.
I just saw that actually.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Oh my god! Wow, he would be a
Derek,
good fit. But if it got dispelled though, then
yeah, he apparently saw all the rumors and was like, "Hey, just because I have an announcement, don't mean it's this. Sorry, no, it's not us, not me. I'm not part of Oasis either."
Yeah, because Oasis is doing a countdown too. Everybody's doing countdowns right now. What the fuck are you doing?
We should do a countdown.
I was gonna say, I want to say a couple years ago, he did a cover of Faint with Mike Shinoda.
Yeah, and it was pretty good.
It was really good. And so that's when like everyone was like, you know what? If Derek Whibley, I think that's his name, if he was the singer, then there's a lot of people in the comments saying like, yo, we wouldn't mind if he did a little like one-off with them. You know what I mean? But you never know. He could be just saying shit to deflect it off him, but who knows?
The rumor going around, though, is that if they are doing a new vocalist, that apparently it might be a woman. And if that's the case, I got to be honest, I think that's a really good call.
That's a super Linkin Park thing to do, because they're all about doing things differently.
Yeah, I mean...
Chester already had a high voice, and as men age, it's harder to do that. And a woman can just probably continue to do that. It's not a bad choice.
And no matter what dude steps into Chester's shoes, they're going to get compared with a girl. If you have a woman on vocals, it's not going to be as easy to compare, and it's kind of apples and oranges at that point.
Yeah, you almost like by default accept. Oh, this is different.
Yeah,
a comparison is not warranted here. Almost.
Yeah. At least
I didn't think of it that way. That's smart.
At least with like Linkin Park's discography, they changed a lot of their shit.
True.
Starting from 2008 until when was their last album? 2017, 2016. There's so many things that were different, and they're always trying to do something, separate themselves from just like regular ass nu metal, or everybody associates, a lot of people associate nu metal with Linkin Park, at least because they were part of that whole movement in 2001, all that stuff like Hybrid Theory. They kind of they pioneered that shit. So I don't know. I like that. I like that rumor. It makes a lot of sense. That's cool. But hey,
we'll find
I'm
out tomorrow.
Happy to get them in Festival now with something a little bit more fun than Numb. They don't chart the keys in the beginning for some reason. Please add it. Please change it so that we can.
That's probably before they were doing the switching in mid song between keyboard and a regular guitar.
First time that I could think of that they really did that was what, like Carry On Wayward Son?
Yeah, when did Numb come to the game? That was probably season 2, right?
Numb was like season 2.
Yeah,
that was season 2 because we were definitely not doing pro lead by then. And yeah, I remember it specifically because that's when the TikTok UMG ban was going on, and we had to speed everything up so that
I don't want to remember that shit.
We could actually put shit up. That was one of the first ones that I had to speed up, and I'm like, man, this sounds like shit.
That shit was so.
But it sounds terrible. But yeah, I think that one will be a little bit more fun. I think we're definitely going to be getting some alt charting. There's no way we're not doing the do 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 do
the piano.
Do. I'd be pissed if we're not playing that on any instrument, and they would be making a huge mistake if they don't.
No, it's definitely there.
That.
Yeah,
it definitely is. It can't not be.
They're aware. For sure.
There's also another song in here that starts off with piano, and that's Broccoli.
Broccoli would be a fun one, I think.
That'll be fun. Are they going to keep the Columbine bar in there?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think they're going to keep the Columbine bar in there.
We'll see who's
right.
If
they're going to add domestic abuse. They're going to, with Down with the Sickness, they're going to keep the Columbine bar in. But I hope that I'm wrong because that bar is fucking insane. That was like the first time I ever heard Lil Yachty. I'm like, why is he talking about that? What is he doing?
Why is he talking about that in the song called Broccoli?
Yeah, it's such a happy song.
Yeah, that song's great. I used to like this song a lot in high school.
That's nostalgic for me.
Yeah, there's nostalgia attached to it for sure.
More nostalgia is that Maps is free from Festival Pass Hell, and now it's out of Rock Band
it's back
VR
and it's
clutches
real.
It's
forever.
so cathartic.
But what's going on with that? Because to me, as soon as I saw that announcement today, my first thought was, what's up with Festival Pass from Season 2 then?
Yeah.
Because Maps...
Bring Black Hole Sun, please.
Yeah, Maps was Season 3, and we still haven't had an official release for Poker Face or Black Hole Sun from Season 2.
You know, Black Hole Sun was a part of that accidental Swim Free drop too, right? Black Hole Sun was in there, but then they pulled that alongside, everyone knows how that played out. I don't know what their plan is with that. What are the issues? What happened?
I mean, they never said it was going to be like, in order of release 3 months later.
They
never said that.
They never explicitly said that. Instead, what we infer that they were doing is dropping them, throughout the month. Or remember when Billie Eilish season 3, they just dropped them week 1. They dropped Festival Pass season 1 tracks, and that first like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know. I'm keeping my expectations on the extremely down low for this whole season because I feel like there's some restructuring going on, or they're just patching up little holes here and there, both with the game and how they're going to be dropping tracks. But that's just my opinion. I think maybe the next season after this, there's going to be something major that happens, because it's going to be like 1 year anniversary.
True.
Yeah, 1 year anniversary is going to happen during the next season because this season doesn't end until November 1st. There's a longer one.
Very long season.
Long season.
And the anniversary is on December 9th, 2024. That'll be 1 year. So it'll be a month and a half into 5 weeks. It'll be 5 weeks into this next season.
Because of Festival existing, this whole year is just kind of gone by pretty fast.
This year has evaporated
into
nothingness. It's been like I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, where's the time even gone? Like, for whatever reason, now that I'm getting older, of course, when you always hear when the older you get, the faster the years go. But it's feeling more real now. I don't know why, but the months are divided into 4 weeks, and it's like, this week is just gone now.
Turning 4 in a couple.
Next
of months.
week is gone.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like, JP, remember when she was born, right?
Oh yeah, I remember when she was like less than a year old. I was hanging out with her.
Yeah, you were hanging out with her.
And then your birthday's next month.
I'm turning 28.
Yeah, mine's in October. Yeah, I'm turning 29.
I'm turning 27. Yeah, 27, 28, 29.
Let's not play that game.
And then 30. That's why you're 30.
Yeah.
You're still in your 20s until you're like 39, I heard.
Yeah.
I got a year.
Yeah, you're in your 20s. You're fine.
You're in your 20s.
Yeah,
you're
fine.
You're fine.
You're being shilling.
Absolutely.
Anyways, the rest of the songs that are coming out this week are Shakira's Whenever, Wherever, and then Quavo with Lenny Kravitz, a song called Fly. It's a remix of Fly Away by Lenny Kravitz.
It is exactly what you think it is, and it is exactly how you think it sounds, too. If you've never heard the song, if you see Quavo and Lenny Kravitz with a song named Fly, It is just a modern reimagining of Fly Away. And Lenny Kravitz actually contributes some like a little bit of his verse with Quavo.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not doing nothing in the song. He didn't just sign off and be like, "Yeah, you can use my stems or whatever."
He's
Alec,
present throughout the
you are-
entire music video.
You are underselling the hell out of this. You called this.
Yeah, you did.
Yo,
Yes.
legitimately.
Deep lore.
I didn't
You-
talk about this on the pod the episode that was last week. On our last recording session, I was talking to Jason and Jake before JP got in here, and I was like, yeah, so there's a song by Quenny and Quenny. Quavo, Lenny Kravitz. It's called
Quenny and
Fly, and
Quavo.
it literally sounds like a song that I would make in Jam Stage with jam loops. And Jake was like, dude, that sounds like shit. And I was like, no, just listen to it. It makes a lot of sense. And I was like, and he went, yeah, you know what? You're right. You're
Yeah, wait till
absolutely
you guys
right.
hear this song and contextualize it in your brain as if you made this on the jam stage, because it makes perfect sense when you think of it that way. It just does. You just have this other song and you just toss some lyrics on top of it.
Right.
You know?
I
Jam
think,
stage combo
But it
with-
works.
Yeah, no, and before you got in here, Jake, while you were still asleep, and Jason was like, yeah, the songs this week are probably gonna be boring, not gonna be great on Pro Lead, and I was like, I think that too when I see songs like this, but never underestimate, alt charting on Lead. Like I think maybe the Shakira song is gonna be a banger, maybe
It could
wherever,
be.
whenever is gonna be a
I don't know.
banger
I've
on
never
Pro
heard it.
Lead.
You've never heard it.
Yeah, no, you've definitely heard it.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
definitely
had to
heard
have
it.
in-
Maybe
in
in passing in
Yeah.
2004.
Whenever, wherever. Quick, Lore Hero Live, listen along. Not really, you can't hear it, but I will whenever I hear it for the first time.
Yo.
Shakira.
Jake, you got to feel lucky that your breasts are small and humble.
He's clip farming. He's clip
Clip
farming.
farmer, clip farmer.
No!
Boo!
Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. Oh, I'm sorry.
My breasts are
sorry.
small and humble, huh?
Yeah, no.
Never heard this one. Never
two-
heard this one before.
You've never heard the wherever, whenever.
Yeah, come on, bro. You
We're
have
meant to be
together.
together. Yeah.
I feel like it was
No.
inescapable
I-
in the early
It was.
2000s. Inescapable.
I don't think I have. I really don't. The
Maybe
only
you
Shakira song I can
selectively
even think
forgot.
of. The only one I
Probably
can think of
selectively
is
forgot, man.
is Hips Don't Lie. That's the only one that I can think of.
That's fair.
I won't
Hips
deny.
don't. If you didn't hear whenever, and then like,
You heard hips don't lie instead.
and then you hear Hips
Yeah.
Don't Lie. Hips Don't Lie definitely, is definitely like more
Yeah,
recognizable. than
listen, Hips Don't Lie,
Wherever.
1.4 billion views. Whenever, wherever, only a measly, only almost 800 mil.
See, you know what?
796 mil.
I think for me, I couldn't go anywhere without hearing Whenever, Wherever as a kid on the
Same.
radio all the time.
Mm.
But growing up in Southern California, they probably spammed the shit out of that song. But
That's like quintessential VH1 music to me.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, this week looks pretty solid. I think it'll
mean,
just be
I-
another fun one.
I'm
I
excited.
think that this is what a lot of us expected to see too, like songs like this, like season wise. But we have been proven before that the seasons don't always stick to the theme. So
No,
shall
what the
see.
fuck's the theme of this week? There isn't one. We have
But I will
in
say
the end with the new
Shakira.
Quavo song.
Shakira fits Karol G the best of any artist they've added this season
Yeah.
by far.
Yeah, they have a collab that's like super
Right.
popular. And,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shakira and
I
Karol
didn't know
G,
that.
they did a song. I don't know if it was like a year or two ago, but it was very popular.
Oh, I didn't know Shakira even made music anymore.
I was
Yeah,
gonna, I
she's
assu-
just kind of doing features and shit now. Like she's just on that
TQG.
on the victory laps.
Yeah,
Popstar
it's-
usually does after they're
Oh
done
my God,
making hits.
Dude, this Karol G Shakira song that came out a year ago, 1.1 billion views on YouTube.
In a year, bro. In a
Yeah,
That's
year.
what I was saying.
That is
Like
year and
as
a
soon
half, it
as
was
the Karol
February.
G, as soon as Karol G's season started, it's like Shakira had to happen. So this it feels right seeing it this week.
Mhm.
yeah,
Holy shit.
and so one thing I wonder personally is how much does a season headliner influence on what songs they want to see in the game, right?
Mm.
If there's anything that
Like-
tells you we got NF in the Metallica season.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
you
like,
know-
Yeah,
like
the
Lars
cursed
Ulrich
month.
is like, hey, my son loves NF. You got to put him back in the game.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah, dude. What if it was a case of Guitar Hero Van Halen?
Yeah, like Wolfgang.
What if it was
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah.
Wolfie's iPod situation
Wolfie's
again
iPod,
somehow.
bro. Wolf's iPod is such a crazy like term, but
Yeah.
what if
Yeah.
his what
If
if
you know, you
that's
know.
what happened? What if that's what happened with the Metallica
Well,
season, bro?
I mean, think about it. We got like Final Countdown. You know, we got Boys Are Back in Town. Like,
Are you
what if,
wait, hold
what
on.
if that was some influence from Metallica? I mean, James Hetfield, that's one of his favorite songs, right?
Yeah,
Are you
it was in GH Metallica.
Yeah.
You're implying that Lars Ulrich gets really self-defeating and listens to Let You Down between shows?
Yes. It's his favorite song to blast.
You know,
Oh,
he's just a little.
I
He's a
never
little
meant to
insecure.
let you down. Like,
I do it every night. My band
Yeah.
has to figure out how to play at a different tempo every other measure. Oh no.
oh,
Jesus Christ.
Hey. Sorry, Lars. Big fan. I bought the festival pass just for you.
Huge fan.
Oh, what was it? The some dude meme? He's like,
Yeah,
oh,
just a
Fortnite
guy.
Yeah,
It's just
anybody.
a guy.
just a
a
guy
guy.
from
He added
Fortnite.
anybody.
I bought the
Just
just a
some
guy emote.
How'd you get that skin of the guy from Fortnite?
Yeah, he's just a guy. Just a guy. Hey, speaking of just a guy, I've been seeing a lot of people sharing pictures of them going to the Metallica concert too, and I thought it was really cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Whether or not that would have happened, if we had had our thing, probably doesn't matter. But it's cool to see other people experiencing what we experienced too. Guap Dad especially, he didn't have snake pit tickets. He was on the outside. He had regular floor
He was
tickets.
close, though.
But he got there like early as fuck in the day. He was close. He was like 1 or 2 rows from the front. So he was like just as close to the band as we were when we were inside the snake pit. That was It was cool to
He
see.
got pics, too, I think.
Oh,
right?
that's so
Yes,
sick.
he caught a
Yeah, he
pic.
got
He caught a
pics.
pic. Keep sharing concert photos with us, by the way. I think it's
Please.
keep sharing all sorts
Yeah.
of stuff with us.
We
All sorts of it.
see when you tag us on Twitter. Sometimes we might not respond, but like I try to leave a like as much as I can. You know.
Yeah, in
cool
fact, I'm
stuff.
gonna leave a like to the one that we were tagged in just now because I forgot to. It was
Yeah, it was
somebody
a
who
guitar,
has like
right?
a purple guitar with like a lavender faceplate. I think it's pretty cool.
Looks good.
I've been
Like-
noticing that a lot recently, like for people just sharing whether they get a guitar or whether they're going somewhere and tagging all of us. And I can't say it enough. Thank you guys, because like we love sharing with the community. It's nice to see the community sharing back. It's really cool.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
thinking of us when you get something cool and you want to share it with somebody. We'll be the
Yeah,
people to
this
share
is
it
a-
with because we
This
like looking at
podcast
it.
is a group,
Genuinely.
group effort, community effort. You know, like, and we wanna give back as much as we can, and that's cool when people share with us too, because we love seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of kind of giving back in a way, I received a message on Twitter earlier this week about a glitch in Guitar Hero drums that I was not aware of, and apparently is not very well documented.
Or-
And I told them that I'd talk about this on Lore Hero because it blew my fucking mind. So, I'm going to share with you a link. This person is playing Scatterbrain, or sorry, no, it's 21st Century Schizoid Man on drums on Guitar Hero 5 PS2. Pay attention, about 10 seconds in, 12 seconds in, to the sustains, the drum sustains, the end of them, and look at the score. Especially at 25 seconds. 25 seconds, look at the score.
What?
Did it just go down?
It just went down.
A lot. It went down 20K.
Oh, okay. That is a lot.
What? You did it again.
So,
Wait, he goes down to 500K. What? Oh my god.
Yes, he was over 500K, and the final score is, what, 485K?
What
Is
the
this on?
fuck?
Is this on Wii?
This is
Okay,
PS2,
so
right?
this is on PS2. He's playing on
Yeah, it's
PS2.
PS2 for sure. Yeah.
But it's not a PS2 only glitch. This happens on 360 as well. It happens on every fucking console. Turns out, it's because I was blown away. And of course, when there's a problem with the Guitar Hero drums engine, and I want to get questions answered, I go to Nolan. I go to /no DayZ.
/no.
Yes. So I asked him about it. He's like, "Oh yes, I'm familiar with this." And then apparently it is a thing with the Guitar Hero 5 drum engine for sure, but it also happens in World Tour even.
I've heard
but
about this happening in World Tour on
this is just a
Antisocial.
thing that happens. Antisocial.
Antisocial.
That was the one that
Yeah.
that Nolan brought up. So even he's not entirely sure about why or when it happens. It could be every sustain, probably not though.
So,
but
my first just the first thought in my head off this video alone from Donut is that it's the 4-lane engine on PS2. That is
Very
already
possible.
such a niche situation, and the 4-lane engine just feels like an afterthought because you could just spam on like the intro of Scatterbrain. There's a video of someone just like fucking buzz rolling on the yellow pad, and there's not
just
a
going
single
fucking
note was
wild with
dropped.
it, and it
You
just
just go
happens.
wild. You just go wild. It's such a busted engine, because like it wasn't the optimal way for people to play their game. It was just here's compatibility.
it was
There you go.
compatibility.
It was just there. But
I looked up Nolan's video, and he also was on 4-lane on Xbox 360, and the first few sustains in the outro there, the score does drop. If you you have to pay close attention. That thousands digit kind of just
it goes down from
it
0
stays
to 1.
at 1. Yeah, 0 to 1. So he did lose some points there. You can mitigate this by dropping the sustain early. It doesn't happen every time. So if you drop the sustain early, which he does for the rest of these at the end.
Is that why Brady does that?
It probably is. Or he just doesn't want to do it.
He just doesn't want to deal with the glitches, so like I don't blame him.
So
just hit it once and then that's it.
So
well,
wait a
if it
second.
increases your score, there's no fucking point in hitting them in the first place.
Yeah, it's actually detrimental.
Yeah.
I thought people were saying that these old games were perfect and that Festival, what are they doing wrong? Because they just haven't added all the features of the old games. But apparently...
This is the 5th Guitar Hero game, which is actually like the 9th one. And they still have this all fucked up. Doesn't work. Actually, what even is... Is it 9? Guitar Hero 1, 2, 80s, 3, Aerosmith, World Tour, Metallica, Smash Hits, 5. Yeah, it's 9. Guitar Hero 5 is the 9th one.
Man,
makes sense.
That was really in the 9th game? Guitar
And
Hero
the 10th
9.
is Band Hero.
Good lord.
If you want to count Band Hero. Then Van Halen, and then Warriors of Rock. It was the 12th one. Anyways,
So
I thought that was a neat little aside.
yeah, that was some good lore.
Good
Yeah,
lore.
very good lore.
Yeah.
Very good lore. Very interesting lore.
Very
Didn't
lore.
know about that before. And
Speaking of Guitar Hero, full band Guitar Hero disc is done.
Oh,
It's fucking
Dragon
dead.
Force.
Theory of the Storm was full band FC last night. I want to say around like 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
And when I say last
Eastern?
night, that's 2 days ago for you.
Yeah, 2 days ago. So this is I want to say that they've had maybe 1 or 2 chokes past the solo.
Negative,
Right,
sir. They had
right.
5.
Oh, they had 5? Okay. Brady locked in
Yes.
though. He did it on 5-lane. Ace and Zay are just beasts. Right. I think they still have Midnight Rider on vocals, I believe.
No, that was Chris. It was Chris Body.
This is
Was it
Chris,
Body?
Chris Body. Yeah, it's Body on
Body.
vocals. Yes. Okay.
Get bodied.
Yeah, I literally retweeted him. I was like, wait, no, he's probably Chris has been on a
Hyping
vocal
up the
run.
boys.
He's been on a vocal run. He actually FC'd ABC by the Jackson 5.
Saw that.
What he
The
was saying
hardest.
is like, yeah, he said it's the hardest vocal song ever.
It makes no sense. I played it myself, and I can't even 5-star that shit. Like, it makes no
crazy.
sense. I don't understand why it's so hard. Apparently, it's easier. Obviously, it's probably easier on PS2. If you didn't know this, the vocal engine on the Guitar Hero game is 100% easier on PS2. I don't know about Wii, but PS2 is just the easiest because that shit's so scuffed. But on 360, that vocal engine, the Band Hero vocal engine is just tough. And then ABC is just awful. It is really, really bad. Shout out to Chris. for
Okay,
getting
you
that.
know what? You know what makes me feel good about seeing Brady's video and that Ace's guitar playing is in the video? Is that's the
Oh,
new
it is?
guitar that's the new guitar that I sent them.
Oh, the newest one. Cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
he,
awesome.
I guess he likes it.
It works.
I guess he likes it.
Dude.
I'm because Ace historically, like for those who don't know, like I've sent Ace a bunch of guitars and like something catastrophic always happens to him. Like that guy's cursed. He'll tell you he's cursed too. Like this is not me saying he's cursed. He just is. So the fact that he was able to get on this guitar, thank fucking God.
And
Thank God.
FC the song many times. I was streaming at the time when they did this, so I diverted my own stream over to Birdman stream so I could go celebrate with them. He FC'd this bitch 21 times. AceZero has 21 Fury of the Storm FCs on expert guitar.
And I have 0.
This chart's awful. I've only seen it
21.
once and never again, dude.
It's
hate
a really,
I
really
hate this
I
hard.
actually did it
engine.
twice.
This
I
chart's
actually
fun,
did it twice.
but this engine just makes it not fun for me.
It's fully engine. If this chart was put into GH3 console, be like, oh, that's a pretty fun
Oh
chart.
yeah, maybe
It
I
be
would
really
have.
hard.
Maybe I would have
It's-
20
yeah.
FCs of it.
Charles
Maybe.
fun as hell, dude.
That'd be- yeah, but it feels like RNG at times when you're FCing this on Warriors of Rock. It just doesn't feel great. I don't know. Also, Birdman, funny lore there. When he went for his regular solo Expert Plus FC of Fear of the Storm, he also had 5 chokes post guitar solo pre outro. So he had 5
Foreshadowing.
chokes.
I love
It
when
takes
the
5
writers
chokes
put
to
in
get the FC.
foreshadowing.
Yeah. Consistency. It's consistency is what it is. Consistently bad 5
character
times,
arcs.
and then you lock in.
Yeah. So yeah,
Brady-
hats off to the
Yeah.
team. Nice
Yeah,
job.
I'll tip
Gotta
my
say,
hat
nice-
to you, sir.
Nice job, team.
Nice job, team.
Brady hits
Yeah.
like so consistently late with this calibration. That's why he's a calibration god.
Bro, he's been
True.
cranking out his Rock Band 4 speed up FC.
Yeah, and he's been
watching a lot of them.
Guitar Hero in general too.
Yeah,
He's been on a cool arc recently. It's been fun to watch.
His Twitter clips are always mind blowing. Like if you ever want to see a really great just drummer come across your feed, go give Brady a follow because
absolutely,
Lord.
He saves the best for Twitter.
Yep.
You know, okay. I'm looking. I haven't seen the solo of Fury to Storm in a long time, and it's kind of funny seeing like the random forced drums everywhere and thinking about how they're doing that in Festival now.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Like this is reminding me of the Paradise City solo. Like the amount of force. It's not as many forced drums, but they're in some weird spots. They're in some weird spots, man. Very awkward.
Yeah, what was it? Chris Vance did this one too, right?
No, he didn't. He told you he was already gone.
He didn't do Fury?
No, you bro. When you were on the Guitar Hero podcast, I think he told you that he was gone at this point.
Oh, by the time. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he did this one.
I have a really random question.
Yeah.
Do we know of anybody that worked on the Rock Band games charting who also ended up working on the Guitar Hero games for Activision charting? I'm curious because we're talking about all the forcing, right? I'm very curious if there's anybody that worked on both and could talk about the differences in mentality because that's somebody I'd love to have on the show in the future.
If you know somebody, hit us up.
I feel like there has to be some sort of overlap between the series.
Like someone
right?
who did GH2
It'd be more weird if there wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone who did GH2 DLC and then worked on GH3 or something. You know what I mean?
Something like that, yeah.
That's the only overlap that I think that could be possible. I don't know if it is, though.
Yeah, like Activision was like, hey, you're going to go over here now. And
You
do
know,
the same
hey,
thing on this game.
You never know if somebody could also have worked on like Guitar Hero towards the end of its life and then moved over and did something with Rock Band 4 eventually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
true. We do have Rock Band 4 over here as well. True.
Yeah.
It makes
Yeah.
That'd be more likely, I think, is early Guitar Hero and then Rock Band 4.
The reason I bring that up is just I'd love to know the difference on behind the scenes and how the charting was done. Because we're seeing now with forcing in Festival as well, like they're evolving in real time. And it feels like their approach is changing in real time as well.
So one thing that I always like to talk about, like approaching mindset, how they change charts or all that. You remember the green, orange, yellow chord in Flickering Flame, and then it got removed a patch later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like there's a disagreement there, or several,
or just an oversight.
And
or just an oversight.
I was told that GYOs are not coming back. I was told.
Unfortunately, rest in peace, my beloved.
By somebody. I was told by
maybe sometime in 2030 we'll get GYOs back. Maybe we'll get some GBOs.
I think it's
I'd love me a GBO.
If Rhythm Authors is probably still following like Harmonix's base guidelines. I mean, the 16th note sustains are all enough to tell you that, right? Because Harmonix has historically done that since Rock Band 1.
Well, there was some Rock Band 1 DLC that doesn't have it, but then they started doing it a little bit afterward.
Yeah, and then they just stayed super consistent with it. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's just one of those things where it's great. It is great to see them evolve with the charting, like in real time, because they're listening to user feedback is what it tells me. And as having charted in the past myself, I don't really do it that much anymore. But you know, I'm never happy with my work, even if other people like it, and they probably feel a lot like similarly over there too. It's
kind of weird because like I like playing Guitar Hero 2 in the context of Guitar Hero 2, but if I played it anywhere else, then like I can see it for a lot of its flaws. But
it works. You know, Guitar Hero 2.
Yeah, but the thing is also, a lot of people who just very much play the game genre casually, they can just load up Clone Hero, play Guitar Hero 2 songs. They're like, I loved it. Like I love the simple charting. You don't have to go too hard on this. But then it's weird, right? Because you know, with us who obsessively play the game all the time, we know what makes a fun chart. What makes a fun chart for somebody who doesn't really play that much, right? It's supposed to make it feel good, but not super challenging. But like we don't want to get super hyper accurate, which is what we see in a lot of these festival charts, which I don't personally have a problem with. I feel like it's we're approaching some era of it feels like we're playing GH3 charts, and a lot of GH3 charts are fun. They're not the best, they're not perfect, but when they were good, they were good. Like these are like GH3 highs, I think. Some of the festival stuff that we've been playing. I don't know if you, like it, just in my opinion.
I would say it's crossed between GH2 with some GH3 mixed in. Like it very much feels like classic harmonics charts with maybe a little bit of spice thrown in top, which it gives me the nostalgic feeling when I play it.
Yeah.
I get that a lot from just like, oh, that feels like that's a classic console chart, which I don't get from playing plastic guitar charts on Clone Hero or Yarg anymore. It's almost always the case now with customs that I feel like I can't just lean back and relax and have fun with it. Yeah. It doesn't have that same polish. And I don't know.
It's that desire of like, I need to make like the hardest thing to play ever, and I want to watch you suffer playing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's a different philosophy entirely.
It is, because Clone Hero is like, oh, look at me, I'm going fast, you know? Like, very much so. And it's not a problem. But like, even myself included, it's like, you know, like I've charted shit where I'm just like, oh yeah, this is hella hard. But over the time, my view has changed too, where it's like, sometimes I'll take something that I find unfair in a song that I charted and be like, I gotta fix this. Like, this sucks, you know? And I don't think some people don't do that, you know? I mean, they should have done that for Paradise City, but they didn't. They shouldn't have charted it like that. I will hold down that opinion. But, you know.
Are you going to go for the FC again, Jason?
I haven't even played it this season.
I can't blame you. You played enough of it last season.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, this sounds really goofy, but that song changed how I looked at Festival. Because I was putting so much time into score grinding and to like, oh yeah, I'm going to go for top score. After Paradise City dropped, I kind of flipped the switch to, I don't have everything I want in this game and nobody cares about the first place scores, so why am I doing it? I was doing it for myself the last few seasons, but now that desire is gone. So now I don't really have the desire to keep grinding scores the same, because I'm more frustrated about wanting the features that I want. You know?
So, you articulated that pretty well. I think I've been seeing that a lot, you know, just in
totally
your posts.
agree with that.
And just how you've been talking about Festival.
I mean, that's where I've been the entire time. Yeah. That's why I haven't really score grinded too much for most of it. I'm waiting for Whammy. Whenever they add Whammy, then I'll go through the entire fucking game and I'll path it and I'll go for top scores. Then it's over for me. Then we're done.
Paths change completely.
Yeah, I don't want to path things yet, really.
He'll be number one. Or,
hopefully.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Harmonix. Epic, add early Whammy to this hoe.
Don't do that. Don't do it. Dude, go the Rockman 4 approach.
You want to be a demon? You want to be a demon?
Whammy.
Add early Whammy. That shit will be crazy.
I think I want to throw one more thing in here with this, which is I loved going for first place scores and like competing with it. But I don't think enough people know about the leaderboards or care about the leaderboards right now for it to make sense for you, unless you have a real desire to do it for yourself, to go for first place scores. Mainly because Epic is not incentivizing it through the game, and there's no chronicle of your scores right now in game. They said it'll come in the future. No. Cool. But we have
it's been a while
seasons
since they said that. It's been like over 6 months since they said, hey, by the way, we're saving all the scores. You'll be able to see them later. When's later?
Hey, I know for a fact that I was in the top 5 for most first places in the game for pro in both of the last 2 seasons. What do I have to show for it?
Zilch.
Hopefully you have a screenshot. Hopefully you have the stream recorded, but still, that's not in a publicly viewable way.
You have personal accomplishment, but it's like, you know, even like I got to be honest, even ScoreSpy did this better. You had the top positions in the leaderboard, and you watched yourself go up in real time. Like, that was a great idea.
Having total
That'd be a really
score,
cool feature to add.
Having total score and just having one guy up there, because like they have that for even like just Fortnite levels. You know, the highest level of somebody's account per season, they have a leaderboard for that. Like
so they're not new to cumulative seasonal leaderboards then.
You know what would be great? A leaderboard for battle stage win amount. You know, longest streak of wins. You know?
Yeah, that's really cool too.
That would make the game way more interesting, because then you have that personal accomplishment of like, I won 30 games in a row. I'm gonna try to beat my last streak. You know? Like,
and if you can get at least to the top 1,000 players receive certain cosmetic for free.
Yeah, like
they could do something like that, like a Rivals almost, like what Rockman Rivals does. You know, if you reach Bloodstone and you get in your rival team gets
or
whatever
Unreal.
the fuck.
You have
Yeah.
Unreal ranks in
Yeah.
you know, have a rivals thing going on. I want to say they're probably working on that.
Got
They're
it.
most
I hope
likely
so.
they,
Yeah, I hope
they're
so.
most likely adding support for that. And then
Rocket
it'll be
Racing
like-
has ranked shit, and I think that's cool. Why can't we have the ranked shit too?
I think it's because the whole like rivals thing didn't happen until like what 6 years ago, right? The 6-7 years ago. That's when it came out.
I don't even remember. It was like
And
was
that
it a year after Rock Band 4? Was that an anniversary thing?
It was
Or is that 2
well, I mean, it
years?
was that whole expansion. The whole rivals thing was an
I
expansion.
don't know, when was that? Was that
So I think
I
it
wanna
was
say
2016 or
17.
2016 or 2017. Either way, it was like 1 or 2 years after it came out. Yeah, if you can correct me on that. I was gonna be like, no one really took it to that level until Rivals actually happened. You know, with the whole ranking system, and you know, I don't even know much about how Rivals works either. All I remember is that you had to have a crew, and the new guys
It was a
grinded
year,
out this.
by the way, year anniversary pretty
year,
much.
yeah.
It was October 18th, 2016.
Okay, cool. And it was like, yeah, no. Do you have like much recollection of exactly how Rivals worked? I mean, I know Jason does.
Jason definitely does.
So it was songs weekly, and your crew all had to get the scores on those songs together, right? To try to beat the other crew that you were matched up against scores. The thing that really bothered me about Rivals and why I got so upset about the idea of delisting songs in Fortnite, right? Like, for example, Battle Pass songs, is it was all set ahead of time. Like, hey, here's the theme for the week. It's going to be back to school, and we're going to have all these songs that are going to fit in this theme. So, you know, like this one by this band, this one, it's 3, I think it was 3 songs per week.
There were
Well,
like
here's the-
main highlight songs, and then there was a whole list of from all the rest of your DLC that also like lightly fit whatever theme.
Correct. So the problem was that a lot of weeks it was DLC because most of the songs in Rock Band are DLC, which meant you had to buy the song to participate. And here that becomes really, really funky if they offer a song for the weekly competition that's no longer available to purchase, right? That happened quite a bit where it's like, let's say as a song that was delisted and then it's not available to play if you don't already own it. That sucks. You know, we don't want to see that come up in the future if there's a competitive side for Fortnite and they do the similar system. And then they're like, oh, by the way, the song this week is swim free. And if you don't own it, you're screwed.
Yeah, there,
You
there would
know?
almost have to be a blacklist for every song that's delisted to never show up in any sort of competition like that.
Or just
Or-
make everything free if it's in the
Or that,
competition.
which is
I was
which
gonna
is
say like have it
unlikely.
relate to the rotation too. To be like, oh, this week's rotation is gonna be the ranked songs. You and your crew go grind this out. Like that's the
I don't
best
want it.
way.
I don't,
You know?
I don't want it because I think we already, with the free to play songs right now, get stuck with the same songs too many days in a row. I cannot tell you how many times I've tried doing battle stage with my community on stream, and then we'll get A, B, C, D, E, F, U, 4 fucking battle stages
That
in a
sounds
row.
Awful.
That sounds awful.
Cool
No,
song.
Battle stage has so many problems. Like we just gotta like just address it. Like it's battle stage has a lot of issues.
This is one of those things that really starts making my like you know, like insides like my start bubbling, going, oh man, I love the idea of battle stage, and the longer it exists, the more problems keep showing, right? And the less I've wanted to play because of it, which is frustrating because it's what I've always wanted. And not seeing it, like seeing that it's like, oh, we got to just cook it a little bit more. We need a little spice on this. We just need to cook it a little bit more.
But I want it now. I want it now.
I want it all. Put that
It's-
song in the game.
So many times you can pull something out of the oven, look at it, and say it needs cooking before you just leave it in the oven and walk away for a little bit. You know, that's kind of how I feel right now.
Oh
is
shit!
I'm
I
at
forgot to
the-
turn the oven on. It's just been sitting in there thawing.
That's how the
Or
last month feels
defrosting.
with battle stage, right?
I just thought you were talking about actual food you put in the oven.
I wish I'm hungry right now.
Nightmare.
My
Sorry,
pizza
sorry.
is black now. It is all charred.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
and
I-
we don't want
I
an
agree.
overcooked mode either. You know, we don't
No.
want like too many
Like
things to where it's
needlessly,
just- it's fucking
needlessly
broken
complex
or-
and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, tilt, and then hold your Riffmaster joystick to the left to attack person in position 3.
We gotta talk about tilt.
like,
That's too much. That's
Yes.
too much, and they know it's too much because not everybody has a Riffmaster. It'd be impossible. You know,
Guys,
again,
tilt-
you'd be pricing people out once again.
the tilt on the Riffmaster is so fucking bad.
Yeah, it's surprising. It's surprisingly
really bad.
Like you have to go almost a full 90 to get.
No,
that thing
so what'll
to
happen
activate.
is that I'll have one song. I'll be playing a first song in a set with the Riffmaster, and I can tilt it a little bit of the work, and then I'll play the next song, and tilt doesn't work anymore. I can start turning the guitar 360 degrees,
and it just never
anymore.
goes.
And then I'll play. Play the third song, and then tilt works again. So what's going on?
There was a problem. Well, I don't know if it has to do with the request that I put in for a bug fix, but I used to have my guitar just upright next to me, like leaning up my drum set, and then I would switch off and play pad. And then every time I would play,
and it would turn on.
And and every time that I would play on pad and the guitar was still on, because I didn't turn off the guitar, because then the game would be like, "Hey, your guitar control or your controller is disconnected. You need a controller to play this, or whatever." But I would leave it sitting right up or upright, and then I would play on controller, and then every time I tried to activate overdrive, it wouldn't happen unless I paused the game and unpaused. And so it was just like, I kind of came to that conclusion. I just started leaving my guitar on the floor, and then that way I could still activate while playing on controller. It was bizarre.
Interesting.
But, yeah, that may have something to do with it. I don't know.
Fixing bugs can bring on new bugs. It's totally possible.
Yeah, maybe.
The overdrive thing kind of reminds me of in Guitar Hero 2. If you're on the main menu screen and you're trying to put in a cheat code like your hyperspeed, oh boy, and it's like it's not working. Why is this not going in? Hello? Tilt your guitar down. Your tilt sensor's activated. If your tilt sensor's activated,
are you serious?
You didn't know this either?
That's so funny.
No, I had no idea. What?
There you go.
That's really funny.
If
I thought it was like you had to be really
felt
fast.
weird to you, it's like if it felt inconsistent, like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Your tilt sensor's slightly activated. You got to bring it down.
Much sense.
Bring it horizontal.
Because you have an extra input happening during the fretting.
Yep.
Wish we knew this 18 years ago.
Yeah, seriously, because I would sit there and be like, why isn't it
I've known this
working?
for a long time. I've told many people this, and every single person's like, oh, no way, that's why. I feel like I'm the only one who knows.
That is so fucking
that's
funny.
Insane.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of me being the only one who knows, I discovered something yesterday on stream that was crazy. I was playing through all the GHTunes songs, and I got to Guitar Hero Smash Hits, okay? And I found this song. It's called Hand of Thunder by Isaac Sprintus. He was the one who made 20 out of 21 GHTunes songs on Guitar Hero Smash Hits. You tell me if the intro here sounds familiar to you. Because immediately it stuck out to me.
Yes.
Where's it from, Jason? You know it.
Oh, God.
You have 5 seconds until I link it. Out of context. Oh, I just pressed period instead of enter.
Bro's clip farming again.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, hold
the
on.
The Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock hardware trailer. It's them showing off the guitar. Listen to this video. 6 seconds in.
Why is it that I just
Whoa!
exist? I exist and you say I'm farming.
You're a farmer now. Farmer Jason.
You know, Jake, I like how you had to comment on this and say, song is Hand of Thunder by Isaac Sprintus.
Yeah, it did. First comment in 12 years on this video with 5,000 views. Yeah, it stuck out to me immediately because I remember watching this video a lot when Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock was about to come out because I thought this guitar looked cool as fuck. And I couldn't wait to get one myself. And then when I got the band bundle, it didn't come with this. It came with the Guitar 5 guitar, but that's besides the point.
Okay.
That's insane.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. This is the first time I've seen this clip in probably, like over a decade, right?
Yeah, 12 years.
Yeah.
The very first thing, this looks just like the Riffmaster reveal.
Yeah, the same sort of CGI sort of
same type of render.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, render. Yeah, it's like they built up the shit in Blender and then they did all sorts of fancy, cool things with it and showing it off. Yeah, it's very similar. It's giving Riffmaster is what they say nowadays.
Even the music choice, that was originally what I was thinking. I was like, "There's no way this is the song from the Riffmaster." Like that was what was in my head. The way that it spins around, with the reveal for like the Xbox and PlayStation guitar for Riffmaster versus the wings popping off for this one.
Sure,
it's very similar.
Yeah, now that I'm watching the Riffmaster one again. Yeah, it is kind of a similar vibe that it's giving off. Music is quite different, but the way it's like, floating around the guitar and then spinning around, then going close up on a thing, showing it off, it is very similar.
I don't know why I was thinking about the music being in this one, but I guess it's just different reveal videos being
The guitar,
crossed.
the Riffmaster moves around a lot in this video. It's kind of jarring,
a lot of motion.
Actually. I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
flipping
It's
it around like it's
all over the place.
like a color guard member with a freaking gun.
Yeah,
This does move around a lot. It's kind of
it's
disorienting.
the way that the camera moves around, that's so disorienting, right? Like I never noticed that.
Yeah, not a very smooth transition from one spot to the next.
No, it's
Pretty
like
quick.
very, like low FPS.
What a
vibe.
weird ass video.
Yeah.
I've been
Some think it is
noticing.
pretty odd.
I've seen quite a few people not referring to them as PDP Riffmasters. Have anybody else been seeing PDF Riffmasters around?
No.
We're gonna stay away from
I have
PDF
people
files.
calling them EDP.
Listen, the Riffmaster did nothing wrong. It does not have to be labeled the EDP. Okay?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I did not say that.
You know he's back.
Like, yeah, when is he not
Of course
though?
he is.
When is he
Yeah.
not though? He's always
I
been
don't know,
dodging it.
I don't know. I just heard about it more recently that
All right,
that
instead of
none other
talking
than
about
Eat
EDP,
Dat Pussy 445 is back posting.
All right,
Let's
bro.
talk about Shad PS4.
Ooh,
Oh yes. Yes, please. So thanks to a lot of technological miracles, there's a lot of games that can boot into this PlayStation 4 emulator. Is it open source? It is open source, right?
Probably.
It's on,
I don't know.
It's on GitHub. That's how they
Yeah.
even got Rock Band 4 to work in the first place. But yeah, there's a PlayStation 4 emulator that actually works with some games. And the first like major game that was getting like booted into was like everyone wanted to see Bloodborne, and so the developers worked extremely hard trying to get that to boot, and it just
Tailoring it
now
to
did
Bloodborne
about a week
specifically.
ago.
No, here's the thing though. So they got to boot into the title screen, right? And then like a day later, they're in like 3D rendered worlds. And then like 2 more days after that, they're like actually running around a level and it looks fine. Like the textures actually work and load in.
And
It's
then
like
a little
The
bit after
development
that,
is
they got
insanely fast.
a little bit after that, they got 300 FPS, and they're doing a boss fight.
Yeah,
And they could do that
Crazy
in
fast progress.
Bloodborne on PlayStation 4 emulator. Like, you know, and I will say this: the PlayStation 4 is a 10-year-old console, more than 10-year-old console. It's a decade old.
Yeah,
But-
gonna be 11 this year.
Yeah. I think now is like a really good time for it to, you know, really start
Yeah, this is
expanding
about
and start improving.
usually like the pipeline of like when this stuff starts to happen. I would say.
Yeah, about
About-
a decade in.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah,
a decade
and
or
with
more,
this,
typically.
with all the Bloodborne stuff, where everyone was just like a lot of us, especially the Milo Hacks guys, were just going like Rock Band 4 win,
Rock Band 4,
win,
Rock Band 4,
Rock Band 4
4.
win,
And then they started
then
to figure it
that's-
out.
and then a lot of
Quickly.
people in Milo Hacks, they just started deleting shit in the game to just see if they could boot it in, and they were getting to boot it in once they started removing audio files in like to make sure that no audio plays in the main menu, and they had to delete like the venues, so it's just like black background. There's
Black
no
backgrounds.
3D graphics other than just the board and the notes that come up. They managed to boot in, albeit on like the June 16th, the June 2016 like update where they first added practice mode. Like that was the
Yeah,
first. That was
like the
only
first one that they're
playable.
working on. But it works
Yeah.
now on the latest version, I believe.
If you have an AMD computer, AMD like entirely, I think you have to have graphics and processor because I think the PS4 is based off of that architecture.
Yeah, I guess the
there's-
PS4 and Xbox One do have closer to PC architectures than any
Yeah.
previous console.
Yeah, like
did,
compared to
so.
like 360 or
There-
PS3 especially. With
There
their
was
weird-ass
one person
bunch
that
of
was
jiggy
able to
processor.
get like the latest version of Rock Band 4 up and running with all the textures like rendered properly. But I think I tried on my system and the strike line is fucked. So
Hmm.
I
because
think
like
it
I
has
have
to be on
NVIDIA, I
AMD.
have
Involved.
NVIDIA. So you
It has to
have
be
to
an
be on
AMD.
AMD, I believe.
Yeah.
And the AMD dedicated graphics and processor, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's
Oh.
what I read.
That being said, I've put about maybe an hour or so into playing Rock Band 4 on emulator, and it just feels right. It feels like, you know, it feels really, really good. It feels surreal that I'm even playing that game at above 60 FPS.
Yeah, and here's the thing: you're playing full songs in their entirety on the emulator. And a week or two ago, that capability did not exist.
Yeah,
bro. The
It can't
craziest
be
part
overstated how
about it-
crazy it is, how fast it's been. Emulators usually take a long time to develop and to actually run games properly. Like running a game and being able to to complete a game are two kind of different milestones in emulator development. Like I think 67 or 70% of the RPCS3, the PS3 library is playable on RPCS3. Not completable, but playable. Like there's different
Everything
levels to
boots.
this.
Everything
boots. So you can get to the title screen.
So that's
perhaps.
huge. That's huge.
Yeah, every
for
single game.
preservation
probably
in general. On PlayStation 3, everything can boot. So that means there's a foot in the door for about every game you throw that existed on the PS3 on a emulator. And that is massive. And that was what, a year or two ago?
A few years back that they
I want to say
reached that, I think.
I want to say 2020, 2021. They said everything is now in or playable, or you could not playable, but you can boot into it. It boots in game. There's
and RPCS3 has been developed for a decade, a long ass time as RPCS3 has been
I remember
getting worked
first
on.
hearing about RPCS3 in 2015, 2016. I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to run that shit. And now, it's almost dolphin levels of smooth.
It's incredible. It's a great emulator. Yeah,
it's probably the definitive way for some people to play Rock Band 3.
Yeah, and it's a very good and valid way because you can play Rock Band 3 Deluxe with your pals off your friends list online
on
with
Go
the
Central,
emulator,
specifically on the Go Central server. Utilizes the invite menu, and you think you have to have Rock Band 3 Deluxe. I think
probably to do. Go
you probably have to. It probably requires it.
But regardless, the fact that Rock Band 4 is working and playable, you can finish a full song without it crashing.
The cherry on top is I didn't have to calibrate. I didn't have to spend more than a couple seconds calibrating. Because I went in game and I played the song. I'm like, I'm just playing early. Just gonna add a little bit of delay. That's it. No video calibration. It was just audio, and the game felt fine. I made it.
That is so fucked up.
I almost FC Dream Genie first try.
Oh, that hurts my soul. Because
that is
beyond
fucked up.
It's all I want in Festival. Better calibration.
Hey,
I have never.
It's a PS4 game after all. Fortnite is.
I have literally never ever had less of calibration problems than playing Rock Band 4 on Shad PS4. Not even
that is the most crazy statement because most of these emulators all have calibration issues baked into them.
PCSX2 is still not perfect after almost 20 years of existing. It still sucks.
You have to add 60 or 70 milliseconds of audio lag to make that shit work.
I still have to add the audio lag to the songs in Onyx. Thank God for Onyx. I still have to do that for GH1 and 2 and 80s. And then RPCS3, you have to turn the audio buffering down. You still have to do a little bit of tinkering with it. But off the rip, Rock Band 4, the calibration has never been easier than on Shad PS4, and I think that's hilarious. Because that is notoriously one of the worst games to calibrate until Festival existed, obviously. But Rock Band 4, on a 0-0 setup for PlayStation 4 Pro, is 180 milliseconds, 75 milliseconds video. It is crazy on a 0-0 setup. It's crazy. And then don't get me started on Xbox. Don't get me started on Xbox calibration for Rock Band 4, because that's all over the place too. But on Shad PS4, that just existing. It's what the fuck happened? What happened? What went wrong?
Their calibration has gotten worse with each Rock Band game almost. Think about it.
Yeah, almost. Seriously. Rock Band 1's pretty fucking good. Not that hard.
Yeah,
There's never much of an issue.
Yeah, and then Rock Band 2.
Jason wasn't there. But we were talking to a friend of ours, and he was like, yeah, you think about it, man. You could just play 0-0 on Rock Band 1, no problem.
Yeah.
And for the most part, he's right. Yeah.
He's right. Yeah.
I wonder if it's that there's more going on under the hood, so it's just harder, as time's going on, because there's more things running.
Advanced.
Because it does
enough to me.
It does feel weird that over time, it has become more and more and more of a task. And yes, now with Festival, we do have the judgments, which means that it's more important. But I don't know, man. It feels strange that no matter what, everybody is having issues with this. Right? Just before we were even recording this right now, Acai and I were both playing songs in Festival, just, chilling, talking to each other before we recorded. I got a first place score, and I immediately felt like it wasn't good enough because I still felt like my calibration wasn't dialed in. if you're getting first place scores on the leaderboard and it still doesn't feel right, there's something up.
It makes
That's
me wonder, like, what kind of calibration that they're using, they being the developers.
Yes.
Yeah.
They know it,
There's
clearly.
layers to this shit, man. Like, Fortnite is filled with experiences now. You know, there's layers, layers, and layers. Like, you think about it, Festival is just a very heavily modified version of Save the World or Battle Royale.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on under the hood there.
Heavy version, modified version of that. Just like how every iteration of Guitar Hero, you know, Neversoft and beyond is a very heavily modified Tony Hawk.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you saying that, I actually saw something on Twitter last night, and I have no way to confirm this, so I'd love if anybody in the comments knows if they could throw some details. Apparently, somebody on Twitter was saying that each jam track is actually coded as a custom map for UEFN. And I don't know if this is true or not.
Really?
I
But
can believe
if that is the case, that it's just pulling from the MIDI for the note chart and just loading it in on a map for each song, which, I mean, I guess that makes sense why it's like going between screens for each song when it has to load in. So I say, I don't know if that's actually true or not. It makes sense in my head. So if anybody knows how that works in game, let us know, because that sounds interesting as hell.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some potentially cool lore.
Potentially. Need
potentially.
details. So I don't want to throw out
Yeah.
any claims that I can't back up. It's just something I read and I don't know for sure. So that's why I'm asking for more info.
Yeah, I'd like
Because
to know about that too.
Like let's say that it actually is, and that might kind of explain why festival tools might not be a thing. At least, you know, they want us to work with the, what is the name of it? It was the patchwork update.
Yeah.
They want us to work with that more so than actual like festival tools. Maybe that's going to be reserved for just festival main stage. You know what I mean? That's only assuming that, you know, that that whole jam track loaded into main stage is its own custom UEFN map. Maybe they're going to hold on to that for a little longer. You know, I don't know.
Hey, you know,
Yeah.
speaking of custom UEFM maps and festival stuff, the Karol G concert happened last week.
Hey, that was really good.
And it was pretty fucking sick. It was like really interactive and it was fun
And
to play.
Metallica got robbed of
Yes.
a nicer experience of a concert. I think, like,
That's crazy.
I liked
man.
it. I glazed it in the beginning, but then
That's all we knew.
That's all we knew. Well, I mean, I knew like more of the concert experiences before that. And if we're talking, you know, spectacle wise, how it truly felt to play the thing, I felt more immersed into the Karol G experience, I think.
I agree.
Yes.
Just aesthetically, I think the aesthetic fit Fortnite a lot better. As with the Metallica one, it was just kind of one dimensional. I felt like, and then the whole interactive part of it was very one dimensional too. You're just driving through a track on Rocket Racing. You're just doing parkour, and you're just
You're jumping
riding
across the
rails.
strings.
Mhm.
And then even with the Karol G concert, you know, you have a score in the upper left corner. You know, you're collecting flowers. You save.
You're in
Karol G.
power-ups, guys.
You're doing power-ups and all that stuff. And as cheesy as that
Empower-ups.
was-
We're empowering people here. Positivity.
As
Let's
cheesy as
go.
that was, I think like the presentation of it was a lot stronger than Metallica's, which I was disappointed because I was like, man, Metallica's could have been so much more. It could have been it could have been a spectacle like this. And I think the Karol G concert like kind of reminded me more of the Travis Scott experience when that happened in 2020 than the Metallica one did. And you know, in experiencing the Metallica one first, it had been a minute since I've even seen, you know, or you know, played one of those concert events, because I think the last one that I attended to before that was like Rift Tour. And that was even one where you did a boss fight to Wolf Mother. That one was cool as shit. If you haven't seen that one. And that's kind of what I was hoping to see from the Metallica one, but then it just kind of fell flat.
Yeah. I think that if anything, I know that you just said, hey, Metallica got ripped off. I kind of feel like Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga, and The Weeknd did.
Yeah. Like this is they were the early era before it seems to become a standard now where the new festival icons will have a concert.
Yeah.
I want to say that they were trying to separate the concert events from being in the battle royale mode and instead being its own separate thing. And I think they still needed those first couple of seasons of festival to really decide if that's what they wanted to do or how to, or, you know, make sure that was ready. What I'm thinking is that they wanted to make sure that it was ready. And so those first 3 artists were purely just for game feedback and understanding all that stuff. And then once Metallica came out, then it was like, all right, it's time for concerts.
Yeah,
time for concerts.
Honestly,
time to go
the
in.
Metallica season really did feel like a turning point in the game. Like it was a major milestone moment. Like, oh, the previous stuff is just different from what it is now. You know,
All right.
That was around the 6-month anniversary too. You know, it's half a year's gone by.
I don't think this will happen, but I think there is a way they could still make good on this, and it would be fucking sick. Talking about the 1-year anniversary of the game, what if they did festival wrapped with a headliner concert from everybody involved for the first 6 seasons?
Cool.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be amazing.
Like a
That'd be really
Rift
cool to get
tour.
everybody involved.
Yeah.
Like a real
have you guys-
festival.
Like, have you guys seen the Rift Tour concert? Have you guys?
No,
do you guys
I don't
even...
think I have.
Okay, like it. I thought it wasn't like the most jaw-dropping event, but I still thought it was really cool, and they gamified a lot of shit. And if you watch somebody's point of view as they're playing it, you could definitely relate it more to the Karol G event than the Metallica one. And if they ended up doing like some sort of festival wrapped, and if this is not even this year, if it's like next year or just sometime in the future, they should do it that's the same way that they did. Because before Rift Tour even happened, you know, all the concert events were within the Battle Royale like map itself. Like you had Marshmallow at Pleasant Park. Everyone was like, oh yeah, show up at Pleasant Park at 8 p.m. Marshmallow's gonna play. And like that was cool. I don't know who did another one after that. I think it was Kid Leroy. I didn't go to that one because I wasn't playing Fortnite at the time. There may have been some other ones in between. And then it went Travis Scott and then Kid Leroy and then it was Rift Tour, I believe. But this whole event, just watch it on your own time. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah,
But
I'm
these
just
events-
sitting through it right now.
these
I
events
can
used
see
to
where you're coming
happen
from now.
on the Battle Royale map. And so that's why it was a lot more popular back then, is because everybody would go to what they knew and then something insane was going to happen. Now it's just going to be in a creative map, and I think it's cool that they can do all this stuff inside of a creative map, and I can't wait to see what other things they're going to be able to do. But I just sort of miss, you know, everybody going to the one thing they knew about Fortnite and then something amazing happening. But I guess that's what it is now. It's this whole universe of just people, you know, you get to play whatever type of game you want.
This whole thing is like super well done. Like,
yes,
This is extravagant.
3 years
Dude, I
ago,
played
wow.
this shit like 3 times. It was
This is
so
amazing.
good.
Yeah. So cool.
I've seen clips of Ari before, but I've never watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
And wow.
So Positions is censored in this song. In here. Yeah, I don't know what they censored, but they definitely censored some words of hers in this. But then that is not censored in the the festival version of it.
They loosened up a little bit.
They've definitely. Oh, I mean, hey, we have jacking off and weed in the game now.
Yes, we do.
Bro, are we
sir.
gonna have a reference to Columbine on Thursday? Like
It's possible.
It's very possible.
Maybe not.
Next up, Columbine and breasts.
Oh my god.
No, what was the line from earlier?
Rose farming.
Like,
I'm just kidding.
humble, small
No,
breast or something like that.
I'm just speaking.
It's just who he is. He's just a farmer. He's just a farmer.
I'm just
That's okay. We need our
here.
farmers. We need our farmers. Hey, speaking of farms, apparently, like the past few days have been really humid up here in Minnesota because of corn sweat. You ever heard of corn sweat before? I haven't heard of this term.
Corn sweat?
Corn sweat.
Corn
No.
syrup.
Apparently, it's because we have so much corn around here, cornfields, and corn holds a lot of moisture. And when the temperatures are right, a lot of that moisture gets evaporated off into the air, and the air just gets more moist. So it's humid because of the corn.
Fuck corn.
A new phenomenon I had never heard about after my almost 7 years living in
I
this
was gonna
state
say,
with
that's some
a
cool
shit ton of
Minnesota
corn.
lore right there.
Midwest
great
lore.
Midwest lore.
That's some
Yeah.
corny lore.
Thank you.
Ooh, wow.
Oh.
Anyways, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.